Hello men and she-males, how you guys doing today? My name is Venza, and I said I would do this on Twitter, so I guess I will.
Everything litty, I love when it's hot. Turned to the city, I broke out the notch.
Alright, so if you're looking to do something like that, you can stay. Otherwise, I don't really care if you leave or stay. It doesn't matter to me. Since I'm too lazy to actually do what I already did, I'm just gonna leave that, and we're gonna start with a new clip on the new beats here. First, I need a synth though, because that's how you make the edit and look good. Okay, well, I lied. My lazy ass doesn't want to record us in because I don't have any that look good. So I'll record this in later. But if you're gonna use this in, just make sure you make your graph look like this. Nice and sharp, because it'll slow down good in the middle and it'll go faster at the end. You barely see the first couple frames, but it makes it look good. Just trust me on that. Alright, so once you find a clip that you think looks good, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it probably won't until you're done with it, and even then it probably still won't look good. I already know which clip this is and I don't like it. So once you find a clip that you like, you want to make sure that it fits your comp. I'm using a 2560 by 1440 comp, so all I gotta do is just Control Alt F, and it might look a little blurry now, but once you add your CC and sharpen, it'll look fine. So what you want to do is you want to right click on the clip, go to time, go time stretch, change this to 150. I always do 150. You can make it a little bit faster if you want. You don't want to do too much slower though. Go to the shot, find the frame before the explosion, and Control Alt T, mark it right there. Now go to the beginning, and it should be somewhat fine. That's where he starts the clip, so it's working right now. But that's literally all you do. You just mark it for yourself. You split that. You split that. Anyways, you go to the beat where you're gonna throw the shot on there, and then you find the kill cam shot, usually just by using the bracket and going to the end of the clip. It's easier like that. You go to the part of the kill cam right before, Control Shift D, delete the little bit before, and then you mark the beginning of that clip. You scroll until you find a point that you think will look good. I usually go right when his hand gets kind of off the screen, the second hand on the reload, and then you split that, Control Shift D, and then you can just press delete. F9 to easy ease, go into your graph and just make the graph nice and sharp, but not too sharp, otherwise you'll get frame drops. So what you want to do is kind of make it in this shape. Make sure that this doesn't go flat. If this goes flat, then the clip will stop. But you want to make it, you know, pretty sharp. So yeah, let's see how that looks.
On millies, that keep me a knot. I created history, it made me a lot. He tried to diss me.
It looked like the sync was a little off there, so let's go back and just make sure we had it on the right part. And sometimes you just gotta play with this because it'll look better eventually. See, this might have been a little bit too slow for that part, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna raise this up a little bit, make it a little bit less sharp, and we're gonna go back.
On millies, that keep me a knot. I created history, it made me a lot. He tried to diss me.
And once you get your pan crop on there and stuff, it should look better. I usually put Twitch on the shot too, so you won't be able to see like the 2 or 3 frames before and then a couple frames after, and it'll just make it all look good once you get the pan crop on there. So if it doesn't look that good at the moment, don't worry about that. RSMB and pan crop are your friend, or in After Effects scale, I guess. So once you get to the kill cam part of things, you're gonna want to grab the clip again. I know it's a pain. You can probably do this a million other ways, but this is how I do it. Go to the end of the clip again, find the last beat, or find the beat where you want the shot to hit.
Tried to diss me and it don't focus. We call him
So I want the shot right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll over on the clip until I find the frame before again. Come on, there we go. And I'm gonna Control-Alt-T, mark that again. And what you, on the last part, I time stretched it. For kill cam, you don't have to. It's probably better if you don't. Once you're done marking that beat's set, you're good. So you want to go back to the first beat of the kill cam, and you want to scroll back enough to where it's not too fast through the whole thing, but you still want it to speed up a little bit so you can make your graph pretty sharp. So find a good point. Usually I like to find something that's happening. So like he's grabbing a shock charge here, something's happening here. Here he'll grab the gun, and then here he'll do a little running man, and it'll make it look nice and smooth. And then same thing on this last beat. You want to just keep scrolling until his hand just about goes off the screen. Control-Shift-D, go to the beginning, Control-Shift-D. Split the reload off of the kill cam, because it'll just make it look better. You could split all of these beats up separately, but I just don't worry about it. I just kind of do it all together, because it's pretty much, when you go into the graph, it's pretty similar to all of them. So yeah, you can just like do it like this all at once. Makes it a lot easier. If you want, this one's longer, so you can make it a little bit sharper. This one's a little bit shorter, so you don't want to make it too sharp. Just make sure that it flows nice. So bring that up a little bit. There we go. Slow, slow, slow. That'll probably look pretty good, but we'll check it out in a minute. We're gonna sync this reload really quick. You can delete all these beats before. F9 to easy ease. Bring this down, bring this up. You're gonna want this a little bit slower because it's kill cam, and because it's a longer clip, so you'll be going into a synth after this. We'll see how that looks.
I keep me a knot. I created history, it made me a lot. He tried to diss me and it don't false. We call him Chaucer cause they.
Alright, so the sync here is a little bit fast. So what we're gonna do is we're going to leave this on the side, and we're gonna delete these two in the middle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna first press Control on both of these so that they go back to being regular keyframes. We're going to scroll this one to the right a little bit to maybe when he grabs the shock charge. We're gonna see where this puts us. Okay, that's pretty good. We're gonna see where this one puts us right when he's doing the running man, so we're gonna work with that. Move this back over, because you can put this back now, I guess. We're going to F9 to easy ease these. We're gonna go back into the graph, look at all of them. Ah, fuck. There you go. I'm just gonna do it clip by clip now, since last time it looked a little weird. So we're gonna slow that. We're gonna make this one pretty sharp. We're gonna definitely make this one pretty sharp, because I'm gonna do a little thing with pan crop here. And then it should look a little bit better.
Got some more millions that keep me a knot. I created history, it made me a lot. He tried to diss me and it don't false. We call him Chaucer cause they go.
So it does look a little better. There is a little little thingy in here that I don't like, where the gun kind of disappears for a second. But you can always add an effect to kind of like get rid of that, I guess. Your pan crop will help with that too, so you can worry about that. I'll just run it back one more time.
And I created history, it made me a lot. He tried to diss me and it don't false. We call him Chaucer cause they gonna chop.
Alright, so that doesn't look terrible. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna make some effects and do pan crop. Now, when I usually do my sins, I usually like to scale it out after. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna scale in from the clip. So this is at 200. Why don't we make it 300? We're gonna do keyframe there, and then go towards the end, make it 200 again. F9 on that. Come to the graph. Make this very sharp. You don't want to see that scale as much, it's just kind of there. And then we'll get to the real scale later. That just keeps the clip to move. So maybe actually pull this a little bit to the side some more. That just makes the clip continue to move throughout the actual clip. So when we're adding our pan crop, I'm actually going to go into my other comp for this. When we're adding our pan crop, I have presets for it because I use the same pan crop in basically every edit. But if you don't know how to do pan crop, it's usually better to use transformation, and I like to do my shakes with just the rotation tool. I don't know, it looks good to me. Well, that's not right. Okay, now that I got that figured out, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to find the first frame of your clip again. And this one's a little bit longer than the last one, so I'm actually gonna have to move a lot of these and move this down. I'm gonna have to move all of these to the side. And what we're gonna do is, since this one's a lot longer, we're gonna spread these out some more. You can leave the blur because it will gradually decline and it actually looks better a little bit. And once you get to the clip, if you can't tell, I basically keep the same scale for all of it. Rotation is just +4, -4, +4, -4. And then you go to -1 in the middle of that, and then you go down to 0. If you want to see the graph, here's what I do. This is just basically the same for all of it here. I don't know what I did there. Oh, that was -4, yeah. So basically I keep it at +4 for the most part, and then every once in a while I change it to -4 just because it'll make it look a little snazzy. To get rid of these black bars down here, you can just go to motion, tile. I have a preset, but it's useful if you just throw motion tile on there and then keep it at 200 and 200, and you won't see the black part anymore. At least you won't on that clip, you will not here in a second. If I just copy that and paste it, black's gone. Mirror edges, there we go. Okay, so now you have to make sure that all of these are lined up. Make sure that you put a 00 before the frame of when you change it every time, just to make sure that it resets. Otherwise your scale will get all screwy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move these over to this beat. We're actually going to change this to here. Move this down over here, and we're going to move these over here. Once again, it's all the same shit, it's just 107.5 for the scale, and I can't move these, good lord. There we go. 107.5 for the scale on most of the normal beats. If it's like a shot beat though, or like a new beat, I usually change it to 114. Yeah, I know I'm kind of just going all over the place right now, but so here, since the last beat was positive and the one before that was positive, I'm actually going to make this a negative rotation, which means that you're also going to have to change this from negative to +1 so that it rotates the other way. and then this will reset to 0. This one's negative, so I'm going to change this to a positive 4, which means you got to change this to a negative 4. We're going to move this over that way. There we go. Positive 4. Negative 1. And now here's what's a little wanky about my pan crop. In the preview to what I had already, you saw this part right here where the clip is very zoomed out or scaled in, you know what I mean. I like to do this now before the shot. It just kind of makes it look better to me on the kill cam, because it gives it more of a, like, boom, you know, is bigger. So to do that, what you definitely need is you need your motion tile. Change these to 200, otherwise it'll make your After Effects get all fucked up. I usually move this to the frame on it, but you want to put this beat, the 100 beat, a couple frames before, not just the frame before. You want to move it a couple before, because then it'll kind of flow out nicely. And then on the clip you'll see that it stays like that. That's what we want. We're gonna actually move these down some more. This one will stay here, and once you get back to the normal beat, you want to just put it back to 114 or whatever right away, and you can add some sort of blur if you want, like a twitch. I usually do twitch. You'll see that in a second. Or you can add some kind of glow effect. That usually helps. That's what you saw in the preview. Just make sure you spread these out, these top ones, because this will give your clip constant movement, and that's what you're wanting. Put it back one frame. And then when you switch to your scene here, which I'm not going to record right now because I'm lazy, it'll make it look all nice. Okay, so I'm actually going to add my Twitch now, just so you guys get a feel for what Twitch will look like on the shot. So you can just click that, because it'll go on top then, Control V, and find the frame with this beat. So I usually set mine to 75. I keyframe the amount, and then I set the speed to 50. I enable blur and slide, because that just makes it look good to me. Make sure if you're using a bigger comp that it fits. Once again, Control Alt F to make it fit. And then this kind of just gives your shot more impact, and it gets rid of that ugly frame. So when I do my effects, thank you for teaching me this, Dan. What you want to do is you want to duplicate that layer and try to throw your effect on top of the copied layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up BCC raise. I have to type it right, and I'm going to use Puffy for this. What we're going to do is we're going to find a good color. I usually like blue or something with red. Alright, so I actually like the blue on this. What we're going to do is we're going to turn off this Twitch layer, because right now you can't really see anything, and you can turn off your pan crop layer. We're going to move the light source to where the gun is going to be. So the gun is down here. We're going to decrease the length a little bit. You can also decrease the intensity, or increase the intensity and then decrease it, but actually, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to keyframe the length and the intensity. After we've keyframed those, we're going to scroll over to somewhere towards the end, and we're going to increase the ray length, so it kind of looks like it's coming off the gun. Increase or decrease the intensity as well. and it kind of makes it look like the rays are coming off the gun and kind of disappearing. And we're also going to grab a glow, so you can just go S_glow. We're going to throw that under there. We're going to change this to maybe like a pinkish, salmonish color. Change the brightness, turn it way down, not too much though. Change the width, bring that up a lot. And then what you want to do is bring the threshold up just a bit. You can probably change the brightness a little bit higher. Keyframe the brightness, bring it to the end, and bring it down to 0. I don't know, it's not the best effect, but it'll look good in the long run. And throw your shit back on. You can turn the CC on to make sure that it looks okay with the CC. We're gonna change this since the CC is more blue, and we're gonna look for magenta red. There we go. Now the effect is a little more visible. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to go to the end of this clip. We're going to create a little adjustment layer. I like to do this after clips just to make it flow better. We're going to create an adjustment layer here. You're going to look up warp. I have presets, but I'll show you how to use warp if you don't know how to use warp. You find just the regular distort warp thing. You make this fisheye, you turn this down to 0, and you keyframe it probably right about here, so like maybe 4 or 5 frames before. I think this is 4, yeah, something like that, I don't know. A couple frames before the end of the clip. I'm gonna actually make it one more. You're gonna keyframe it at 0. You're gonna go to the end, and you're going to find -100 here. Alright, so you're gonna go from 0 to -100, and that'll just make it look good. You can put it at the end, but I like to put it a little frame. Yeah, actually we're gonna put it at the end. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna F9 on that. You're gonna go into your graph, and you're gonna make this really sharp, because you don't want this to be looking like that the entire time. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the end here, and you're going to bring this straight up to about here, and it'll keep it mainly flat. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this a frame back and check the graph really quick. Bring this up a little bit more, probably touch the line. Alright, that'll probably look good. And now what we're gonna do here is we're going to come a couple frames back this way. We're gonna scale, keyframe there. We're gonna make this maybe 150. F9 on that. Come over here, do the same exact thing. Make it pretty sharp. Now what we're going to do is we're going to copy that and paste it to the part above. And what that should do is it should give us a little out, or a little inward pull. That makes it look mighty fine. So what we're going to do here then is we're going to scale here, and we're going to make this, say, 250. And go to the end of this, or go to the middle of it at least. And we're going to keyframe this back to 200. F9 on the scale. Make it nice and sharp. And it should look pretty good. So I'm gonna let this pre-render really quick. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna see how it looks. Probably add gun sounds. Same thing. Pre-render. Just
I keep me a knot. I created history. It made me a lot. He tried to diss me and it don't fall. We call them chopsticks 'cause they gonna chop.
And that didn't look too bad. So I know I kind of went all over the place this video, but I was just kind of showing you guys what I do, and this is basically how I edit it. I go all over the place. Make sure you guys keep on the lookout for the finished product. That's only 2 clips out of however many I have to do for this thing. And I have no idea what I'm going to do for sins because I'm lazy as shit and I don't really want to do them. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. It's Ben Benza. If you have any other questions, DM me on Twitter, DM me on Instagram. Fucking comment something in the comment section. Maybe I'll reply. I don't fucking know. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace, bitches.